Hello, hi. This is a short video to show you how to update or how to input the village headman results. So I'm assuming that you already have an account. If you do already have an account, log in with that account. So I'm logging in with the account right now that I have. Once you are logged in, click on the options that say here Workbench, and then you can click on Create Content. From the create content option, you want to scroll down and click on the one that says result, election result. You click election result, and from the election result, we are about to enter village headman result. So I will select here village result. We don't have the polling station data. We have some other data. So where is the data coming from? Your data is going to come from this site, the folder that was shared during the workshop. So inside this folder, you have a file here called village headman. So this is open elections data. Open the one that says volunteer training documentation. Inside that volunteer training documentation, you should see a new file, this one called village headman result. And as you can see, it was updated January 2nd. Open this file. And once you have this file open, this is the result. So from this result, you have the name of the village over here. You have the number of polling stations that were reported. You have the names of the candidates, and you have the actual votes that they received. We don't have any field for total polling stations. Instead, we have a field for the name of the polling station. Since that information is not provided, we will ignore this field that says total number of polling stations. Candidate name, we have a field for this. We have to enter the candidate name. Total valid vote obtained, we have to enter this because we have this information. So for this case, the village is I don't care. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click here village. I'm going to test to add an existing village. I'm going to assume that I don't care already is available as a village. So I'll type I don't care like that and I can see that it's available. So I will pick it up and then click add new node. Now I've added I don't care as the village. The next thing that I need is I need to select the region. I don't care is in the west. So I will select the west. When was this election? The election date here was December 27, 29. So I will choose December 29 like this, 2007. What type of election was this? This was a village headman election. So I select village headman. Now, next I need to add the candidate. The candidate, again, I'm going to assume that a candidate already exists. So I'm going to click add existing node and I'm going to try to add the candidate. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for this candidate called Kagbo Jeffrey Lahim. So I'm going to use the last name to search Lahim, right? So I'm going to search here for Lahim like that to see if he exists. It doesn't look like he exists. I'm going to search for Kagbo. I have a couple of Kagbos here, but these are for chairman, mayor. None of these is him. So what I will have to do is I will have to create a new candidate. So I'll click cancel. For the most part, all of the village headman candidate, we have to create them. Most of them don't exist in the system today. So I'll cancel and then I will say add new. And when I say add new, then I'm going to then try to enter the information for this candidate. So first name for the candidate is Jeffrey. So I'm going to enter Jeffrey. Jeffrey, Jefffery. And his middle name seems to be Lahim. And the last name is Kagbo. And This looks like it's a male candidate, and I'm going to then select the year for this election was 2008. This is for the 2008 election, and the type of election, I'm going to select election type here, village headman. And then the political party, I don't know the political party of this, so I'm just going to choose independent here under political party. And this is a candidate, so I'm just going to click create, and this will create the candidate and add the information for the candidate here. Now I need to put in the vote, so I'll look here, how much did he get? 904. So I'll put here 904. I don't know the percentage, so I'll leave that alone. And I'll put this as the final and certified. That's the final and certified result from NEC. And I'll add here that this came from NEC. Because this came from NEC and I'm sure everything is okay and I do have access to publish, I'm going to publish this, and I'm going to add here, this is valid based on information published by NEC. Now that's done, and I can scroll down and click save. And you can see I have successfully saved this result. You can see Jeffrey Kagbo of Independent for 2008 village headman, and then you can see the date and everything else, and his profile is here. If I click this, you will see that I'll be able to go to his profile. We didn't have much information about his profile, but it's there, and this is the information that we have about him. If I go back, the village already existed. If I click here, you see that the village I don't care already exists. Right now, let's assume that we are going to create one where the village doesn't exist. So I will go back to my workbench and I'll click create. And in this case, I'm going to go back and click election result. And I'm going to choose again village result. This time, the village doesn't exist. I'm going to look for one village that doesn't exist. So I'm going to look for this village called Boyer, for example. Okay, Boyor. So I'm going to click exist, and I click Boyor to see if it exists. Does that exist? It doesn't look like it exists. This doesn't exist. If it exists, it will have to show up in the drop down like this, and I have to select it. So this doesn't exist. So therefore I need to create this. So since it doesn't exist, I'm going to say cancel this, and then I'm going to say add new village. And most of these villages you will notice don't exist. So I'm going to add that village here. Boyor. Let me verify. Boyor. So now that's it, and it's in Western Area Rural, and it's in the West. I don't have any description for it here. I'm going to type the same name and try to see if I can pull it up in the map. It doesn't exist, so I'm just going to do Western Area Rural here, and then I'll pick Western Area Rural and leave it at that. I don't know the population, so I'm going to leave it alone. Then I'm going to click create. So I've created that village. Now, next thing I need is the region. I'm going to select here West. The date, I'm going to go back and select December 29. Election type, I'm going to select again village headman right here. The candidate, I'm going to look again if the candidate exists. In this case, I'm looking at Boya. There were 1, 2, 3 candidates. So Toure Abubakar. So I'm going to look for Toure. And there are a couple of Toures, but I don't see any Toure Abubakar here. So Toure, or I'm gonna look for Abu Bakar, like that. I can see I have an Abubakar Toure of Independent for Member of Parliament. This may not be him. It may be him or not, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna assume this is not him since I have no way of confirming this. And I'm going to create a new candidate. I'm going to say add new, I'm going to say Abu Bakar Toure. So where is that? The name again is Toure Abu Bakar. Okay, like that. Abu Bakar Toure, and this is a male candidate. I'm going to choose again independent, and election is village headman, and the year is 2018. And then I'm going to click create. So that candidate has been created, and now I'm going to look for the vote. Boya, the vote was 221, 221, 221. And I can choose the political party here again for him, independent. And then down here, the source, I will say NEC, and publish this because I know the information is correct. And here I can say I have confirmed this information from NEC data, and then scroll and then hit save. So I have completed that. So now if I go to manage and I click content, I'll be able to see the content that I've created. So I created the village boya. I created the result for Jeffrey Lahim right here. And I also created the candidate Jeffrey Lahim. So I created this candidate and the result together when I first did this. And the second time when I did this one, I created the village and created the candidate and also created the result. So at any point in time, you'll be creating about three things. You create the village if it doesn't exist, you create the candidate if it doesn't exist, and then you create the result, all on the fly on the same page. You notice that a couple of the villages I have added, especially the first few ones. So these villages here, I don't care, all the way down to Bangau, all the way down to Bangau Waf, Bungo Waf, or now we've added Boya. So all of these exist. The only ones that probably doesn't exist is Brima Town, Bure Town, and all the way going down. And if you finish, you see that Al-Bakar, the candidate profile, is not published. Is okay. You can come in later on and click edit on this and verify the information, make sure everything is correct about that, and then you can hit publish to publish that as well. Because once you publish it, then the public will be able to see it. So that has been published now, and you can come back and look which other one is not published. Boya village you added was not published, so you can edit that and then change that to that and publish it. And same thing over here, Jeffrey was not published. And now you can save this and say publish, and then you've published. So now if you go back to your home page and now you go on the statistics and look, you should see some statistics showing you that you've done something. So election result, we've added some results, some more results have been added to that. And candidates, some more candidates have been added. Villages, you have some more villages added. So if you keep looking at these statistics, you'll see things changing. And if you go to result, you should be able to see some result now. From here, when you come down to village headman like this, you should be able to see the village headman result. Right now, you don't see anything, but I will work on this. And once you come to this page, you should be able to see the village headman result. And this is good. So the election, yeah, just say any here and click village headman. And you can see the few we've added. We've added two candidates. We don't have any political party, but you can see and we don't have the village here yet. So that's it. Good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.